Good morning, everybody. This is Steve, Worley Bugger. Today is the 21st of February. Down in the Lower Farmlands of the Yakima River, you can see nice peaceful morning. Just the eagles and the deer out here. The river's in beautiful shape. So we had quite a change since my last report. Went from single digits, completely reversed the other way, and our days are definitely getting longer, getting a lot more light, which is nice. And we got pretty good snowfall the last few days that dumped on the valley here that we need desperately. However, there's some rain coming in from what they're saying over the next few days, so we could see a mixture of both. Probably going to see a little bit of water in the river. Which is unfortunate. We really like to build the reservoir storage instead of just flushing it and losing it going down the river, not being able to capture it. Especially after last year, in August we were seeing temperatures in the 70-degree range, which is very unusual for the river. But when the reservoirs get so low, and the summer days are long and hot, it doesn't take long to warm that water in the reservoir. So the water that was coming out was, it was already 70 degrees when it was hitting the river. The only saving grace is the capacity that it runs at. The temperature might be 70 degrees or 71, but the air volume going through the river is what saves it. So kind of a catch-22. But over the next several days, lows in the about the freezing range from what they're saying, and then up in the upper to mid 50s. So we'll take a water temperature here, and most likely we're going to probably start seeing the first signs of squala movement, in the adult form, probably when we start seeing a couple of those mid 50-degree days. Remember that water temperature number 41, 42 is kind of the magic number to see adult squalas start forming. Some years too, I forgot to mention this, but in years past, this is like our 30th season here, working on the river. So we've seen mild winters, and we've seen, absolutely brutal winters. So, and there's just certain times when we have those brutal winters, Mother Nature just is Mother Nature. She'll just go when she wants to go. Sometimes, it doesn't have to hit the magic number. They just, they gotta do what they do, and they gotta appropriate, so they get to doing their business. But yeah, typically that's a good gauge to 42-degree water temperature is what we're typically looking for good squala action. The warmer the better. So we'll see what happens with the river over the next few days. In good shape here. We're coming towards the end of the month. Remember, March 1st is the lake opener for a lot of the lakes in the basin, so that'll be taking place. I'm sure after last week we had those single digits that probably ice, because we got ice on the lakes here in the valley, the little stalker ponds, little freeway ponds. But, you know, after 50-degree days, and typically the desert always sees 3 to 5 degree warmer air temperatures than what we see. So most likely by the opener, they're going to be ice free, or at least partially, for fishing anyways. As soon as we hear, we'll let everybody know how they're looking. There's always some die-hard lake fishermen that walk in early and scope it out, and then they're so kind to let us know. Okay, so keep in mind this is really generalized, so other portions of the river are going to read a little bit different, probably, you know, within a degree or two. Certain parts of the river warm up quicker than other parts. The lower canyon, like I mentioned before, in the Clay Elm area, those two areas of the river always see squallas first, then the farmlands here. And if I had to say, it's probably because of the infusion of all the little creeks that run into the farmlands. You know, we have Tainham Creek, we have Menage-Tash Creek, portions of Reeser Creek. So, you know, it's dumping cold water in. You know, the canyon does get Wilson Creek that dumps in. And just a reminder, you know, the next couple of days, with this rain that's forecasted coming in, we could see, you know, some turbulent water conditions there. So you're going to want to pay attention and, you know, watch the graphs, see what's going on, and see if that portion of the river stays in. But right now, the reading is, and this is a side channel, 37 degrees this morning. So we need about 5 degrees warm, which isn't a whole lot when we start talking about 50 degrees air temperature. You know, there's even like forecasted like 57. So which isn't unusual for this time of year. Typically by mid-February, you know, we're seeing winter, you know, starting to disappear here in the Ellensburg Valley, and spring on its way. So we'll still have our wintry days through March and April, but it doesn't stay around very long. So some good fishing on the horizon. Again, right now, river's in great shape, ice free, of course, as opposed to last week. But if you have any questions, give us a call at the fly shop, stop by. Happy to help you with whatever you need. So everybody have a great weekend, and see you on the river.